I got fired for being a smoker. Not because of bad work, not because I missed deadlines, just because I lit up a cigarette during my break. But 4 months later, the same woman who fired me was out of a job, and I had a full year's salary sitting in my bank account. Let me tell you how I played the long game and won. Back in the early 2010s, before TikTok and Canva took over the internet, I landed a job I was genuinely excited about. A university wanted to start a YouTube branding campaign, and they hired me as their sole content creator. The pay was just $2,200 a month. Not exactly amazing, but I saw it as a stepping stone into something bigger. On my second day, reality hit me like a brick. My manager handed me a target. 85 videos, each between 3 and 10 minutes long, all to be completed within 1 year. And here's the kicker, I had to do everything solo. Script writing, filming, editing, even composing background music. On top of that, I had to use my own camera and laptop, because the university's equipment couldn't even handle 720p resolution. I told her it was impossible for one person to do all that. She just smiled and said, "Don't worry. If the videos are good, quantity won't matter." I should have known right then that was the first red flag. The first month wasn't too bad. My manager was supportive, or at least she acted like it. But then one day she found out I was a smoker. Everything changed overnight. I remember talking to a coworker about it, and she literally face-bombed. "She hates smokers," she warned me. "She'll find a way to get rid of you." She wasn't kidding. Suddenly, every little thing became a problem. I was told I smelled like cigarettes. I got called out for being 6 minutes late one morning. I was even questioned for not answering my phone during my lunch break. Meanwhile, I was working over 60 hours a week, often coming in on Saturdays, pushing out quality content all on my own. But every step forward was met with a slap in the face. After 5 exhausting months, I was called into the director's office. My stomach dropped when I saw my manager already sitting there, smiling like she just won the lottery. The director didn't waste time. He said, "We're disappointed in your performance. You're behind on your KPIs." I explained that I'd already completed 30 high-quality videos, some of which were the best performing ones on their entire channel. I reminded them of my manager's words, that quality mattered more than quantity. It didn't matter. The director cut me off. "The KPI is 85. You're behind. We're ending your contract." Then, right on cue, my manager added, "Don't worry. We'll get a professional production house to finish the rest." And then she smirked. That smug little smirk burned into my memory. But instead of being angry, something clicked. And I smiled, quietly on the inside. See, I was the one who maintained the university's list of external production vendors. My manager had no industry contacts. If she wanted professionals, she'd have to use my list. And that's when I started playing the long game. Before I left, I scrambled the entire vendor database. Changed phone numbers, email addresses, even company names, except for one. Just one. A production house where a close friend of mine worked as a junior director. I gave him a call and asked, "You want to make 6 figures in 6 months?" He said, "I'm listening." I gave him a full pitch deck on how to win the university over. Every detail, every buzzword that would appeal to my ex-manager. His company even signed me to a contract. I'd get a 15% commission for bringing them the deal. 2 days later, they nailed the pitch and landed the entire project. And they delivered. His team was stacked with producers, editors, sound designers, the real deal. They were pumping out sleek, professional videos every 2 to 3 days. In just 4 months, they delivered 50 videos. Here's the twist. Each one of those videos cost 2 to 3 times what my monthly salary had been. The university ended up spending the equivalent of 100 months of my pay, just to replace me. And me? I collected 15% of that entire deal, which added up to around 15 months of my old salary. I used some of it to take a long overdue vacation in Bali, and the rest to enroll in a top film school abroad. Life was good. But karma wasn't done yet. One sunny afternoon, as I was sipping a cocktail on the beach, I got a call from that same colleague who warned me months earlier. She was nearly shouting into the phone, "Guess what? Your old manager just got fired." And the director got chewed out by the chancellor. Turns out, the budget for that content campaign was only meant to cover a year and a half of my salary. But they blew over 10 times that amount trying to fix their mistake. And here's the kicker. My ex-manager approved all the spending on her own, without telling the director. She tried to cover it up. Desperation got the best of her. And it cost her everything. She gambled big trying to make me look like the problem, and she lost it all. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes, the sweetest kind of justice is letting people trip over their own egos while you collect checks from a beach in Bali. Never underestimate the quiet ones, especially the ones you tried to bury, because chances are, they're just planting roots.